I used to work here about 10 years ago teaching the electronic imaging course, and now I've come back presenting a work called Palaces. And Palaces is it's a 2 metre by 2 metre crystal resin palace that's made embedded with children's milk teeth, donated by the public over the last 5 years, and it continues to grow with donations from kids. We take their letters and their drawings and pin them up as part of the exhibition in the gallery. So the work's really a pinnacle of a group of works called the Wasted Works, which is looking at permission and consent and what this means in contemporary society. It's about beliefs in science and medicine, but also a belief in things that we pander to, which we no longer believe as ourselves, like the tooth fairy. Now, the Wasted Works was pivotal, really, for me and for a lot of people involved with it, because it challenged ethics. It was at a time where the Human Tissue Act was written that didn't include ethic regulations around the donation of tissue from living donors. It was all around dead people's donations, and it was made in collaboration with Sarah Rankin from Imperial College, who's a pharmacologist. And we got together because we were introduced through an artist's friend's father kind of scenario in a casual way, but realised very quickly we were from similar backgrounds with similar values and had similar age kids. So the start of all this, really, when we started working together, thinking about regenerative medicine, stem cells and potentials, was really my daughter at 7, Saskia, coming to me and just looking at me in the eye and saying, "Tell me the truth, is the tooth fairy real?" And then everything seemed to connect together with belief systems, the narrative. Like lots of kids' stories have been adapted by Disney, and a lot of the connection to the historical roots lost. But sometimes that's the only point of reference to old stories that we have. So it's really trying to create something that was fit for kids, really, something that kids would engage with, but it held the kind of deeper issues of what we believe in and why we believe in, constructs of belief, like buying water in a bottle, thinking it's purer than what you get out the tap. This is the perfect scenario for it to be, really, because it's about a crossover between arts and sciences, or systems of logic and belief mixed with the acknowledgement of those things which don't fit within those systems of logic and belief as well, and about creative interpretation and public engagement. So this gallery, this is open to the public, and it's a way where kids can actually come and engage with much bigger issues about not only about permission and consent, but about scientific knowledge and systems of classification even, or aesthetic beauty. So what we intend to do now is, through the exhibitions in Scotland more recently, we've decided actually to keep the palace going, so it will keep collecting teeth and keep growing into the future. So if people want to donate even one milk tooth to go on the palace, you can actually give us a drawing. It will go onto an online gallery, and a lot of those drawings are then taken and put in the actual exhibition. You can also write us a story, and that will go online as well. But you can come into the workshops during the open days for this and choose where you want your tooth stuck on the palace. And that's quite a magical experience, because not only is it very precious, this one little tooth, it's a transition of aging, of growing up. It's also, these are such precious little objects that you want to keep them forever. And in the palace, they're preserved forever. They're covered in a resin which prevents oxygen getting to them, so they always stay white and lovely and shiny. A lot of the background for this, I've realised since starting it, comes from my dad being a survivor of a concentration camp, and from the age of 7 till about 16, that was his childhood. So we went back to Poland, and I was 7, and at 7 got taken to the concentration camp, in the Majdanek concentration camp. Before it was really kind of sanitised for everybody to visit. There were still English labels on the ovens and in the gas chamber. So I remember being able to read at 7 and reading that, and I think that's profoundly affected my life. Not in a kind of pessimistic, negative way, but in a way of moving beyond it, in a sense, finding beauty, and being able to, like, thinking back really about the age of 7 being very significant in child's development, where their teeth fall out and their brain's growing, and their belief in fairies and magic changes to a non-belief in that, or a need to know the truth. And at 7, he was exposed to the horrors that he was exposed to. At 7, I was exposed to the concentration camp, which was his background. So it's become a very significant journey. And like you'll see, the palace has got 7 towers as well, but they're referenced really to different archaeological buildings that I've been really inspired by. One being Cologne Cathedral, or one's not that at all. It's a kind of giraffe's neck, or the muscular structure in the neck. Loads of little references have gone into the palace, and it was constructed quite carefully to embody so many different levels of stuff from the concentration camp, but mainly about children and magic and belief and beauty and light and transcendence of all that kind of stuff.